Hi friends, welcome back to the Patreon. Welcome to a very, not last minute video, but something that I just decided to do today and I feel strangely in the mood for is to see this new film called Kill. You may have heard of it. People have not stopped talking about this film and I wasn't sure if it was going to be a silent release because I knew it was coming out in the cinema here or a big deal, but apparently the people who made John Wick are already looking into making an English version of it, and it's only just hit theaters. Kill is dubbed as one of the most gruesome action crime thrillers, and it's about a train trip to New Delhi where two men face an army of invading bandits. It's actually meant to be a love story action, but I've heard that the gore is insane and a lot of horror fans have been commending that part of this adventure. I'm not really into action films, but I feel like with Monkey Man and a couple of other films I've watched this year and Quiet Place, I've been really interested in action sequences, but I thought I'd go along just to test out how gory it actually is for you. The movie has received really good ratings and I am excited to just chill out and take you along with me. It is a stormy day here in Perth, and when I booked my seat, I was the only one in the cinema. So hopefully it stays that way and we can sneak into a recliner chair and watch Kill together. This one does have subtitles as well, so it should be a fun ride. Okay, let's go. Oh my god, it is windy out there. Hi friends, I just got out of Kill. I mean, I want to like every film, but that was a long ride, let's say that. But I mean, it was interesting. So Kill is about, it starts off as like a love story, and it's about a man who just comes back from serving and with the military, and he like gets in touch with his significant other to find out that she has been engaged in a arranged marriage, and he goes to find her. They end up both on this train through different circumstances, and from there these bandits, this family of bandits, 40 bandits, get on this train and start taking over, and he wants to protect her family who are also on the train. This film is really cool because of its structure. That's the thing I liked the most. It is one of those films where the title comes in 40 minutes in. I think this is fine to say, but a lot of this film, it's relentless action sequences of fighting over and over again that you're like, how is anyone still standing? But they just keep versing each other over and over and over again. But then finally it does. I didn't think it would, but it actually turns it up several notches, and it does get extremely gory. What I really love about Bollywood films is that they turn Rob told me this, who is part of the Patreon, they turn the volume a couple decibels up. I think it's like 10 decibels up. And because this is action, it was really intense when it's revved up. The sound effects are crazy. It's like guns like getting loaded and like going off, even though there's no gun violence really. I mean, there is some, but it's just the sound effects, the music, the whole hype of it. You really do get like immersed in the epic theatrical nature of it. There was no music. I was hoping for at least one song. We didn't get any. But that part I really liked. And basically the whole film, if you could listen to my soundtrack, which you could barely hear because it was so loud, I was doing this. Oh, oof, oof. The gore is pretty gnarly. But what I will say is because of the way the structure works and the film It kind of tapers there, then it like peaks and goes insane. What would have been great is if the film was more condensed and it just was relentless till the end. It kind of dropped in, dropped off. There's not a lot of dialogue because once they've established what's happening, there is a little bit back and forth because it's him and his friend on the train. I should have said that. And there's a little bit back and forth between them and the bandits and their family and all that kind of stuff. But it's not very important dialogue that you couldn't understand what was happening. I just feel like it's not as important to the story as the love story idea is. And once that's established, I wish it would have just kept on that, because what it has is so pure and cool and intense, and I felt like they kind of diluted that by putting it, you know, just these kind of peaks and valleys, and it does feel like it goes for a long time. It goes just under 2 hours, but it really could have been easily condensed to an hour and a half, even somewhat less than that, and been a really effective movie from start to end and really jaw-dropping. But the whole like fighting back and forth, like sometimes the same person 6 times during the whole film, is a lot and felt a little bit draining at times. I do think the action sequences were also interesting, which is really funny because I'm talking about how condensed it is, but then some of the action sequences was so condensed that I could tell the continuity was off. When I looked, I couldn't even understand what was happening because it was all happening so fast with how many shots they were cutting back and forth from, that I was watching things in the background and things were completely different when it cut back and forth, or people were having different expressions on their face. There's one point where this girl is being like held like this, and then they cut to a wide shot and she's like not even near the person who's holding her. Things like that where I felt like it was moving too fast at the start, but I think that that's just a me thing as well, because I'm not very good at watching action films, and I've been trying to, you know, put myself out of my comfort zone and watch a few more and up my intake on action. And the reason I don't normally watch them is because I do find it really jarring to try and keep a balance of what's going on. And even though physical gore and horror is very intense, I find psychological to hit me a lot harder. Overall, I really enjoyed the structure of this film, and I felt like it had something very special, but unfortunately I felt like it was watered down by stretching it out to the runtime that they had. And I felt it would have been a lot better if there wasn't so many semantics and back and forth. There's all of this like drama or dialogue parts which really they don't really go anywhere, and it doesn't really make any sense with how it ends or the final story or what the message of the film is, to have so many dips. And I felt like it took away from the energy, and once everything's ramped up, it's so impressive, and I just felt like it took away from that, especially for a film titled Kill. It's not like they were trying to do a soft drama. The film is called Kill, but I enjoyed it for what it was. It just was a little bit relentless, especially the start before it ramps up. Just the fighting, there is no way. If people watch films like Revenge and they always say that there's no way this woman can sustain these injuries and keep going, explain this movie to me. Explain any action film to me, because I don't understand. I'm going to give this film a personal score of 6 out of 10. If you're a gore fiend, you should definitely check it out, but do know it is a long film, or you can really feel its runtime, I should say. It's not a very long film, you can just feel its runtime. For gore, I'm not going to do scare. It's not very scary, but the gore is intense. I was really shocked at some points, and I love that. Absolutely love that. That is what I live for. I would give it a 8 out of 10 for gore. It pushes a lot of envelopes. And for originality, I would probably give it a 5. I don't think it's original at all, like the idea of it, but I really liked the structure and the way it's set up. Can see why they would want to remake it for, you know, the American audience. Unfortunately, because of the way it's set up with the arranged marriage and that being part of it, I just don't see how it would capture the same kind of situation as to why they're on the train and all that kind of stuff. So that would be really interesting to see how they change that. Anyway, thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with me and coming to the movies on a windy, rainy day. I think I missed the rain, but I think it's about to come back. And I hope that you all have a fantastic day. If you have seen Kill, let me know what you thought. And if you haven't, let me know. Is this your type of film? Thank you guys so much for supporting me and being part of my Patreon. You really do keep my channel going, so I can't thank you enough for that. And I'll talk to you guys very soon. Stay safe and stay spooky. Do I normally say that here? I don't know. Bye, friends.